Okay, so for drama, I am picking Abel Ferrar's China Girl.
I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
This did come up yesterday.
Oh, it did, huh?
Yes.
Oh, so China Girl has had at least a little a glimmer of recognition.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Well, here it's interesting about that. Okay, I mean it's not as. Actually, I do think it's more entertaining than The Bad Lieutenant. But okay, it's not the
Bold.
it's not the well. I think it's easy to be more entertaining than
Yeah.
The Bad Lieutenant. I don't think that's a bold statement, but I actually think China Girl is just entertaining. But actually, I think you would like it if you haven't. You have
I
never.
haven't seen
Yeah,
it,
I
no.
think you would like it. It's
Okay.
pretty much West Side Story.
Okay, great.
All right, but like
Yeah.
like an Abel Ferrara street version of West
Okay.
Side Story. But the thing about it was, yes, okay, it's not going to compete with King of New York. It's not going to compete with The Funeral. It's not going to compete with Bad Lieutenant to some degree, even though I think it can compete to some degree. And so I watched all this stuff, and he had never moved past Miss 45. He was still the same guy with promise, and he was still working on bigger budgets and doing good, but he still hadn't gone past Miss 45. That's still the best thing. And so when I saw China Girl when it came out, I think I etched it as like the best of that ilk,
Mm-hmm.
still not surpassing Miss 45. And then when he did King of New York, forget about it.
Yeah.
That was the one I was waiting for. But 6 years ago, I watched China Girl, and it blew me fucking away. It was so good. I go, wow, I was so into this guy that I actually wasn't giving him enough credit for what he was. I was thinking about what I wanted him to do.
Yeah.
And not exactly what he did. And what he did in that movie is really terrific. And that's him using James Russo at the time that it looked like James Russo could be the man.
Yeah. This
He
is
could
one
be
of your guys.
He
James
could be
Russo.
the man. And then I actually think this is his best starring performance, like by far. He's terrific in
Yeah.
the film. And him and Caruso, you know, I don't care for that kid in it, all right, but the guys in it are fantastic.
R.I.P. to that
Poor
kid.
kid.
Yeah.
Oh man, you were good. Oh. I'm never gonna like the cute boy, all right? That's the star of any of these.
It's
fucking
not his
things.
fault. It's not his fault.
Yeah, I probably like him now. But the use of the music, the whole way, the way that they cleverly rewrite West Side Story to be Chinatown, the whole Canal Street, Little Italy versus Chinatown. And then the violence in it was off the fucking chain. There's this one sequence in the middle where all of a sudden, like the Italian guys just show up in cars and just start kicking everybody's ass. And it just, whoa. It took me by surprise. I completely forgot about that scene. That grabbed me as much as any violence in King of New York because it was so unprepared.
Mm-hmm.
It's a solid movie. Really good, wonderful movie. And again, it's another great Nick St. John screenplay because there's Abel Ferrara with Nick St. John, and then there's everything else. All right, and that's a perfect Ferrara Nick St. John. Their journey, their story.
Mm-hmm.
And Russo had really hooked up big time by that point with Abel Ferrara. And he had starred in the movie that's the closest thing to a precursor to King of New York is China Girl by Abel Ferrara, which is really good. It's actually much better now than I remember it being when I saw it when it first came out. And he was the star of that. And then later when they do Dangerous Game, Russo's going to be in that with him and Cattell. But Russo was now part of Abel's gang. He's one of Abel's lead guys now. So Ferrara's going back and forth on who's going to play Frank White. But he writes Jim for James Russo, and he writes the cop, Howdy Doody, for David Caruso. Now, both Caruso and Russo work together in China Girl. And part of the thing is they're both actors, full of gauge and totally fucking intense.
Yeah, tough guy New York actors.
Yeah, they want to steal the scenes from each other. They both think they're better than the other one. All right, so they have a complete antagonism during China Girl that is both in the scenes and even though they're supposed to be playing his best buddy and off stage. All right. They just want to beat the other one.
Wait, you mean Caruso was difficult? I've never heard of that with him.
He's competitive.
Yeah. And Abel was like, oh, I love that antagonism. So he gives the kind of role that they can be antagonistic with each other. And now we can really, really run with this. Russo reads the script, turns it down flat. Boom. Abel calls him up. Why? I'm not going to let David Caruso spit in my face. Remember the scene where
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
when he spits in Fish's face? That was in the script. And he goes, I'm not going to let that redheaded cocksucker spit in my face. Fuck that shit. No way, Jose. All right, and
It's like, what about a stunt spit?
not, I will let Walken spit in my face.
Yeah.
But I will never, in this lifetime, will I ever let that Irish prick spit in my fucking face.
Wow.
Fuck that guy. And Crusoe said, fine, get the fuck out of here. I can't stand your ass anyway. Now they're all friends, and actually on my CSI Miami, Russo actually had this recurring character that he played the big mob guy that Horatio could never take down. All right. But that's why he said, and this is straight from Russo's mouth, because Russo's in Django. Mm-hmm. And he's one of the brothers at the beginning. And he told me though, I cannot believe you turned Jimmy Jim down. You know, and he goes, yeah, I was a fucking idiot. And well, what's the story? Okay, here's the story. I go, oh my God, you are a fucking idiot. And he goes, yeah, I know.
A world that's wrong, society